Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 15th of May. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
So Gary, lovely week last week, yes. Particularly given the fact that it was Mother's Day.
Oh, well, happy Mother's Day to your mother and to your wife.
A bit of a sad day for you because your mum's no longer with us.
Sadly not.
Bless her heart.
Yes,
not
indeed.
to put a dampener on this, but we need to acknowledge Edith.
We do think
was a great mentor to us both and a wonderful, loving mother.
She was indeed. Thank you for saying that, Phil.
And a shout out to my mum who was at home, and unfortunately I was working all day Sunday, so I didn't get a chance to take her out.
Well, she's used to you not being around.
So
like
a shout out,
mums.
Shout out to my lovely mum. Happy Mother's Day, and to my mother-in-law, of course.
And to all the mums watching, Phil.
Now,
happy Mother's Day.
Do we endorse this whole Mother's Day concept? Because really, it's a bit of a commercial construct, isn't it? It's designed to sell chocolates, flowers, and toasters.
I never know how far to go on Mother's Day because I get the flowers, and I think, well, if I get the flowers, that's sort of a nice present, but it's not a great present.
Yeah.
So it's one of those difficult things, isn't it? You know, is Mother's Day a scam, or is it a beautiful day? Is it a day of stress and pressure for the kids to have to put up and perform, or is it just a day to share? I suppose it depends on
I think there should be a rule on Mother's Day gifts that it should be either it should be flowers or chocolates.
Is that it?
Flowers or chocolates, because if you think about it, what mum wants to get another photo frame or another toaster
or jewellery
or
holiday,
and it does put a lot of pressure on families to buy something.
Exactly
so
right.
I think the more time you could just spend with your mum, you should ring your mum every day.
Exactly right. Ring her every day. Every day should be Mother's Day, Phil, shouldn't it? Really, if you're a good son. I'm sure you are a good son, Phil. Let's move into what's going on in the real estate world, Phil, because we had a 12 out of 18. We had a 66.66%.
Very respectable clearance rate.
In light of the marketplace, it is. It's way ahead again of the market, which is 61%, Phil. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf said. Not in the grand final because no one heard him in the grand final. When he was, but in his heyday. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and we'll cop that. And hey, last week, Phil, we sold a few others that were sitting around.
Absolutely.
Do you know we've both got things on our noses?
So viewers,
what is that?
In the interests of transparency, although there's nothing transparent about it, if you look at the screen close enough, you'll see that Gary's, somebody's taken an axe to Gary's face, and that was his wonderful dermatologist.
Yes,
the
Master Blaster, I call him.
Have you had the results back yet?
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that wasn't there. That was somewhere else, but it's okay. I'm around for a bit longer. Yes, had a bit of a biopsy. That's great fun as you get older.
Get your skin checked. I'm forever having something burnt
on your nose.
and
I know, you've got burnt too.
Yeah. That's just unkind.
Yeah, if you're looking for,
it's actually a pimple.
Is that right? If you're looking for agents with things on their noses, you aren't going to go any better. Look no further. You found the agents with things on their noses.
I actually had something burnt off my hand not so long ago. So, that whole freezing thing. But,
it's weird, isn't it?
But I'll take the freezing thing over the injection.
It's getting distasteful now, and there's young people watching, and people who are watching for real estate, not for a medical report, Philip. It's getting like
We've said it many times, though, viewers, get your skin checked because these things can sneak up on you, and you don't want to be checking them after it's too late.
You don't indeed, Philip. Hey,
community service announcement.
Exactly what I want to talk about: pets in properties, Phil.
Pets in properties?
Because, this vendor is a pet lover, and they used to have...
We're in Blake Street, Caulfield. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, we will. They used to have, Phil, just in the room over there, which is beautifully set up, as the whole house is. It's an incredible house we'll talk about. They used to have a pet snake, Phil.
So,
I just want to talk about that.
Viewers,
not here anymore, no evidence
viewers,
of it.
I grew up on a farm, as a lot of you will know, and snakes are not a thing to have as a pet.
No, that's right.
I've got to tell you, when I was growing up, we lived in Cootamundra, New South Wales, where our big garden was a snake-friendly garden.
I saw snakes in your place.
You did.
They scared me.
And I've got to tell you, not only were there snakes, but they were brown snakes, and brown snakes are one of the deadliest snakes on the planet. So we didn't have much regard for snakes. The object was... If you saw a snake, you did everything possible to kill it. And my father...
They protected species?
Well, if they were, if there is a gunshot sound in the country and no one hears it, did it actually happen? Viewers, very philosophical question. But my father, going back then, had a double-barrelled shotgun.
He did, I know.
And
he used to play with it when I came round.
His way of killing a brown snake was to load up the double-barrelled shotgun and take the first shot. Failing the first shot, he'd take the second shot. And mostly that was effective.
And did they get away often, the snake?
No, well mostly it was effective because mostly he didn't miss.
Okay.
But there is a step going into the house, in our house, where the snake came up on the veranda, and Dad, of course, took the shot and took this massive chunk out of the step.
Really?
And to this day,
did you get the snake?
No, didn't get the snake. The snake nicked off. But to this day, there's a chunk out of that step.
And I reckon that snake, for the rest of its life, used to slither past that step and chuckle to itself about the
used to go like that.
Exactly
if a snake can do that.
It did.
Anyway, pets are lovely.
So what I wanted just a viewer feedback. When you go into a property, ideas. What do we think about animals in properties? Because we've got an animal loving family here. This family is known for loving animals.
It's crazy.
I know.
About animals.
Yes. There's no smell of any animals in here. It smells
beautiful, and I'm pretty partial to smells.
I know you are. Yeah. So there's no smell. Do people? And what's the most bizarre pets and animals that people have got out there? Because I remember selling a property in. I remember this is a great story. If I can go on for a minute.
Where you are.
Sally Zellman says years ago, she comes in, she says, I've got a listing in Howard Road. Right? Do you remember this story?
Okay,
and I said, that's fantastic, because Howard Road, of course.
Number 1 street in
Premier
Caulfield
Street
North.
in Caulfield North. So excited. She rings me back that afternoon. She goes, look, it wasn't in Howard Road, Caulfield North. It's actually in Hewitt Street. I said, okay, Hewitt Street. That's a good address. That's in Carnegie. It's a good address. She says to me, look, I'm not sure it's in the West Park, Hewitt Street. I said, where is it in Hewitt Street? It's right at the end. I go, that's okay. It's on a train line. I said, it doesn't matter, it's close to the transport. It's on a train line. That'll be okay. Then she says to me, look, it's not such good condition. I said, what's wrong with it? She said it's got a whole lot of animals through the house, right?
Through the house.
Inside and outside, playpen, and there was a lease on the property for like 2 years, so no one could live there. So, it went from a mansion in Howard Road to this difficult property, and guess what, Phil? We still sold it,
Now, was that the house with the goat inside?
It was a goat.
So viewers, if you've got a pet goat and you're thinking about selling your house...
send a photo.
You know what?
Send a photo.
Get rid of the goat.
No, come on, send some photos. Let the country boy within you
You need to get rid of the goat. Ring me, I'll get my dad to come over.
Exactly, I still got some ammo. Well, I tell you what, we had some fun with those guns in Cootamunda. It's an unsavoury story we won't talk about. Philip, let's talk about the weekend, talk about where we are. Let's talk about some of our results, Philip, because there were some ripper results.
There were.
Apartment in Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Philip, sold very well. That's 460 Carlisle Street. Well done to Jeremy Rosen, sold that for 450, well in excess of expectation.
Which was well in excess of reserve. That was it was a lovely apartment, but had no parking, which sometimes limits the desire. Having said that, when you're in Carlisle Street, an apartment, do you need parking? I would say no. But that was really competitive, a good, strong result. So well done to the St Kilda team.
Indeed, I met Leon down there in Grange Road, Ormond, Phil. We had an auction there. We weren't sure, we weren't sure there was as much interest as there was, and that's why you always go to auction, Phil.
We rarely cancel an auction.
Really never, because where there's auction, there's life. And there were a couple of parties there, and he wasn't confident or sure, but he said to me, maybe. Anyway, lo and behold, reserve 750 at the top of the range, Phil. Sold for 780.
The number of properties viewers, generally speaking, sub $2.5 million. And if you think about $2.5 million is a lot of money, but up to $2.5 million, the number of properties that we would sell to somebody that sees it for the first time on the day of the auction and buys it. So we're not just talking about $400,000 and $500,000 properties, but properties all the way up, generally speaking, to $2.5 million.
And occasionally even beyond.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you'll get someone, come into an auction. I remember one right in the heart of Caulfield. Someone just came and was the underbidder at like high twos and never seen it before. How about that, Phil? Let's move on. Leor Samuel did a great job in Parkside Street, Elsternwick. Well done to you, Leor, selling that in excess of the range, sold for $1,280,000. Lots of competition at that auction.
Good result,
which was good. And then, of course, one of the best auctions of the weekend, Philip, was on Sunday at number 12, Hartington Street, the old milk bar, Phil. And well done. And the vendor had some lovely things to say. Let's hear from the vendor for a moment.
So, Tova, we're done. It's been 4 weeks of busy inspections. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm just delighted that we chose Gary Pier. They're the only company that gives results and do a fantastic job.
Did I set you up to say that?
No, you did not. This is from my own heart and this is genuine. I've only sold through Gary Pier. They're truly the best company. They're honest, reliable, and what they say they do and what they do they say.
Now you're going over the board.
Thank you.
No, it's what I feel. One thing I took to
So Phil, the range there, Phil, 1.3 to 1.4, sold for 1,700,000, so far above the range and expectation. It was wonderful,
big
wasn't
price,
it?
But you know what, if you think about it, it had a 3-street frontage, it was an iconic property.
It was extraordinary.
And because the house was built fairly close to the street, in fact the milk bar was right on the street, probably has some town planning benefits. But a beautiful, a nostalgic experience, because you, like me, remember that milk bar when it was the thriving milk bar, and you could buy a bag of mixed lollies.
20 cents,
20 cents?
That's it. Yeah, you'd have your dentist in your teeth, you'd be there all week, you'd put on K's.
I remember we'd be over at your place as young tackers, and we'd knock off some money from your mother's wallet and whip
we did.
milk bar.
Exactly
and
right.
buy ourselves a big fat bag of lollies.
What do we have there? Chickos, we had milk bottles, we had teeth, we had redskins, we had cobbers, bananas, we had it all there, Phil. It was a lot of fun. Phil, let's get past the fun and get down to business.
There's a whole generation of people, generally under 40, that don't know what a mixed bag of lollies are unless they buy a bag of Allen's party mix.
Yeah, that's right. It's sad, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Because what was good...
Good old days, Gary.
Yeah, they were the good old... And what was good, if you were an annoying kid like me and quite a connoisseur, you used to think about your lolly selection. So because they were all there in the
You were the guy that used to stand there going,
I'd say,
oh, no, you know what, you'd have 5 cents worth of that. Oh no, you know what, the poor guy had to be taking them out of the bag.
I'd say, no, I don't want the jelly beans. I meant the jelly babies. So 3 for a cent or 4 for a cent.
And then you'd of course go, oh, you want the jelly babies, but I just want the orange ones.
Of course, you didn't want the other one. You didn't want those the blue ones. They used to taste like vomit, those jelly babies, Phil, or jelly beans. Anyway, that's the mixed lolly story, Phil.
Back on track.
And let's get back on track. We've gone to animals, we've gone to mixed lollies.
Gary, across the board on the weekend, and we talked about this in the sales meeting on Monday, we had a lot of competitive auctions.
Yeah, we did.
This is the
good to see it.
Well, this is the interesting theme to the market, is that there's no question the market has turned from a seller's market to what we call a more balanced market, and a more balanced market really is 60 to 70%.
I'd agree with that.
You know, if it drops below 60%, then clearly it becomes more of a buyer's market. But between 60 and 70%, we call that a balanced market. And the interesting thing across the weekend, and I had 3 auctions that I did personally on Sunday, where we had multiple bidders bidding, and multiple bidders,
Kent Grove was
even 4 bidders. I mean, we had
didn't talk about Kent Grove, that very competitive auction.
4 bidders. That's a more top of the market property.
It was
4 bidders, and the interesting thing is that now that prices have settled, and I genuinely think that they've settled, they've stopped going up. We've stopped getting the record prices. We're now that vendors are more realistic, and buyers are there to buy. And if the pricing structure that is attached to the property, the statement of information, if it represents value, buyers are responding. And if there's one message from GPTV this week, is that if you should work very closely with your sales consultant to ensure that your statement of information
gets it out there, price right,
is a range that you think you'll have attraction as opposed to being bullish.
Absolutely, Phil.
And those properties that we had those sensible price ranges, the sensible statement of information have been received really well across the weekend.
Yes, well, you know, you need an agent that knows their values, Phil, because if you're up in the clouds as an agent, or you're just not candid with your vendor, you're going to lead them down the road of disappointment most likely. So, you know, we're still here to get the best price for every vendor.
We're still ambitious, we're still excited.
And it should be, and at the end of the day, you know, that is our first duty, is to our principal, our vendor, to get the best price. Having said that, if you are misleading your vendors on price, agents, naughty agents, you will get your clients and yourselves into a lot of trouble. Philip, let's move on to this weekend of auctions. We've got 10 of them, and we've got them in a variety of suburbs, 5 or 6 suburbs. Well, here we are then, Phil. We're at 11 Blake Street, right in the heart of Caulfield. A keen GPTV watching family, by the way, Phil. So it's a pleasure to be doing it here. Take us through this magnet. I'm just looking beyond you here, beyond that thing on your nose, and I'm looking over here at the pool and the garden and this incredible oasis, because this is the most phenomenal back garden and setup.
Firstly,
isn't it, really?
let me just say that the current vendors built this house, Gary, and they built it with Omnicon Constructions. So we're talking about a quality product from the front fence to the back fence and everything in between. There's so much to fall in love with about this home, but the entertaining areas are some of the best I've ever seen. This Kitchen Meals family room has also a family room attached to it, so you can have your kids crazily playing right next to you, but not on top of you.
Yes, indeed.
My favourite feature is the incredible alfresco area where you open these glass concertina kind of cafe style doors, and then the inside just melds with the outside comes in, you overlook the swimming pool, you've got a big back garden because we've got a very generous block of land, bigger than the usual. So this is a family home at its finest.
Absolutely, Phil. And if you like entertaining and you're friendly and you're a family, does it get any better? I mean, in terms of parties and welcoming people around, so many vast entertaining areas, they can all close off and become very intimate at the same time. And this is a very, very unique, a very special home and a great offering, Phil. We're excited about this one. This one goes to the market at the end of the month, the 27th of May, 1:30 p.m. You've got the auction honours. I will be here with you.
Well, as you should
looking forward to seeing you perform.
And keep in mind, Gary, Blake Street, the most fantastic position. We're on the west side of the street, so all of your back garden has the western and the northern orientation. So this is a house to fall in love with. This is also what we call a generational home. Whoever buys this, I think, will stay here for a generation, pretty much like our current owners have.
Our current vendors. Mind you, it has to get to auction. There's been a bit of activity here, so make sure, buyers, that you're always in touch with our...
Come and see it this weekend if you haven't already.
Make sure you're always in touch with our consultants about anything that you're interested in, because some get sold before auction.
They do.
And some get sold after auction, like Murray Street, which was passed in last week. That got sold after auction. There was a number of properties, actually. That one just comes to mind quickly. Philip, this weekend we start off a double auction action at 10:30 a.m. We're in Lila Road in Murrumbeena. Leo Samuel auctions this wonderful property. Take us through. Tell us about it, please, won't you?
Well, Gary, a good apartment is hard to find. This is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. A really good floor plan throughout. 2 really good sized bedrooms and a central bathroom, good entertaining areas. And what we always are recommending to our clients, buy something with a courtyard. This one's got one.
Feargal Sharky. He sang that song. A good apartment is hard to find. You know that song?
I don't think it's apartment, Gary.
No, maybe not. Okay, let's move on to Porter Road, Carnegie, Philip. Number 5, you have auction honours. You're going to meet Graham Callum there on Saturday morning.
Gary, 876 square metres of prime land with a really good frontage and a really good family home on it. So it's a 4-bedroom, 1 bathroom family home. But you know, is it the house or is it the land? The joy of buying a property like that is that you pick up this property and buy a great parcel of land.
Either or both.
Gives you a great future.
It could be either or both. Philip, we have triple auction action at 11:30 a.m. It is the happening hotspot time off Saturday, and at 11:30 we're going to be in Celeste Court.
Gary, a favourite court of ours, great location, walking distance to our office, so you've got the buzz of the Armour Village and the tram, of course, in Dandenong Road, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, beautifully renovated throughout. That is a really good property together with a balcony.
Downshire Road, undoubtedly one of Elsternwick's premier streets, Philip. You've got the auction.
Definitely in the top 10, isn't it?
11:30, probably the top 5, I reckon, right now. I reckon it's probably in the top 5, but we're looking forward to that auction, Philip, and you're going to be meeting Leo Samuel, who's excited about it.
This is a really good property because it's a single-fronted home, but on a very generous allotment of land. It's in very livable condition at the moment, which means you can move in and plan your renovation. And that's a great way to buy a property where you can actually move in and think about what you're going to do. But certainly a lot of value add to happen there, and whoever buys that's going to be buying really a blank canvas for their future needs.
And that price guide in Downshire Road is a great entry price to do also, isn't it? Philip, we're in Narrawong Road at the same time at 11:30. That's my auction on Saturday that I'm looking forward to. And meeting at Joel Sir over there. Just had, by the way, Joel Sir.
Shout out to Joel Sir. Let's get that little baby up on screen. A shout out to the family.
Congratulations to Joel. Love it when our staff and our team have kids, don't you?
Love it when this child has been born, I think, at 3.55 kilos. So marathon effort. So congratulations to the entire Sir family. And what a beautiful, beautiful, joyous bundle that child is.
That's for sure.
And it's a big bundle too. Gary, speaking of big bundles, that is Narrawong Road, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, plenty of courtyard gardens. I mean, look, we love those properties because they're the homes of today.
Blenheim Street, another hot spot just off Carlisle Street there, Philip, but Jeremy Rosens has the auction honours for this wonderful property.
Some say Blenheim and some say Blenheim, but I think Blenheim's right, the correct pronunciation, Gary.
That's how you say it.
Walking distance to Carlisle Street, so you've got the tram and the train and the cafes, Las Chicos around the corner, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and this is just a fantastic property with its own courtyard garden and just essentially brand spanking new.
Phil, we bring down the curtain at 1:30 on Saturday. It's Lee or Samuel who's got the final auction honours. He's going to be in Ardyne Street, Murrumbeena. This is a great looking property.
What an amazing property this is. 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. This is just, it's an iconic style of property. It's a property that you can move straight into or explore at your leisure about what you might do there. That is, as the brochure says, in a class all of its own.
It is indeed, Philip. Only 3 auctions on Sunday. I think there's been some pre-auction sales, but we're looking forward to Kean Street, 23B Kean Street, going to be auctioned. Philip, you have the auction honours at 1:30 p.m. You're doing it all late on this Sunday, Philip.
Gary, don't mind a bit of a sleep in. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, plenty of car parking there, plenty of entertaining space. That is a really good property, and always hard to find a single-storey villa.
Excited for the auction in Glencoe Road, Philip, right on the corner there of Hotham Street, and that wonderful development that everybody's talking about. We're looking forward to auctioning this terrific apartment.
Gary, part of the Rip and Lee vibe there, and this is a beautiful apartment, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and secure parking. That's, you know, it's a brand new property. It's a brand new building built by very, very experienced developers, and just to be able to walk out of your apartment, go and do your shopping, go and have lunch or breakfast or dinner, and walk to the tram and the train. Go
to Attica if you want.
Yeah, you could, Gary.
One of the best restaurants in the world.
One of the top 50, but that location is just incredible.
Well, Philip, we bring down the curtain on Sunday at 3:30 in Webb Street at this fantastic property. Maybe we've saved the best to last, I don't know. It's certainly one of the best offerings we've had in terms of luxury homes. Take us through this one.
Gary, the owner there has done the most beautiful and sympathetic refurbishment. It was a 60s/70s house, so just a really good floor plan to start with. The vendors have added some modern touches, given a bit of a Hamptons overhaul. So you've got this most incredible entertaining spaces. You've got the most beautiful kitchen meals family room overlooking a pool that's been beautifully decked, and of course Webb Street is a fantastic address.
So that's a big wrap of all that's happening out in the real estate market, Philip, this week, and it has been a busy weekend. Some good results. If you're a buyer, there's some good value out there. If you're a seller, you're still getting very, very good money for your properties, because properties are selling, as you say, rightly so, Philip, in a balanced market. And that's a big wrap on this week's GPTV. We'll continue to keep you informed. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.
Bye.